Timing is everything, folks. Got to get out when you're young. You got to seize nature when you can. You got to take pictures of slugs before they escape. There's nothing like today.
Hey there, guys. So today I'm out in the woods. I'm heading up to a fire tower. These fire towers were prevalent. Well, they're still prevalent, but they've been restored. They had a distinct usefulness in the past to look for forest fires. And today, with GPS and private airplanes, satellites, they've sort of fell out of use, and then they've been restored. They're on the tops of mountains, and they make for a great destination. So there's one up this way, and that's where I'm heading to. So now that I'm ready to get going, we've talked about this in the past, and if you're new to hiking and you don't think that the trail is really clear to you, so then what you really want to look at is you want to look for the trailblazers. That's the yellow trailblazer. We can take a closer look at that. All right, let's head out. Look at the color of that fungus. That is really something. What a color yellow. I really don't know what this is, but I sure do like it. Just like looking at it and taking a picture. All right, let's go.
Oh, hey, this is an 830-foot change in elevation hike. Not too bad. Last week we did 1,030 when I was at Giant Ledge. Hiking on the trails, you never know what you're gonna find, and sometimes it's just an obstruction. I mean, we've seen these before. This looks pretty recent though. Yep, that's the way I gotta go. So I'm on the climb now. I just really hit a steeper part of the trail, and I've been passing these little wooden signs. I'm thinking to myself, what are they? Maybe it's mile markers. In tenths of a mile, could be that I am 7/10 of a mile. It's hot, I'm sweating, it's early. It's probably, somewhere around 8 a.m., 8:30. It's supposed to be 100 degrees tomorrow, 95 today. It's very high humidity. That's why I got out here early. So when you're hiking, think, be smart, come prepared. I got a big bottle of water, and yes, I have my coffee and my Fig Newtons, and I'm ready to go. We got this huge tree fell across here, and obviously they just cut it there. You got the trail. Well, I'm getting closer to my target. You can see the signage here. It's just so awesome they have these signs in the woods. Still looking for another one of those number signs, but spring that way, fall that way. Just kidding, you can only fall by the cliff. So the main reason that I did not stop at the spring is because in my last video, I did stop at the spring. Truth is, I've got a full container of water with me. I really haven't been drinking it much, but I'll get to it. Planning on doing it up there. All right, let's go, people. Only 8/10 of a mile since the last one, maybe so. I think I got to get to about 1.4 miles is when I'll reach the fire tower. So keep you posted. So as you can see, we've made it to the top of the mountain, and I've climbed up the stairs. Actually got here before the volunteer ranger comes, who stays in the little house down at the bottom and then spends his day sitting up here in the top of the fire tower. Now, I've been to fire towers before. You get to go inside, you get to sit there, and you can ask questions. They'll point out what landmarks are visible out in the distance, left and right, and it's a great payoff to a hike. I love a hike that has something at the end that just makes it all so worthwhile. I love hiking to a waterfall. I love hiking to a scenic overlook. And this is a scenic overlook and the fire tower, which is historic. As I might have mentioned before, these fire towers were in use, watching out for fires in the surrounding areas. But with the popularity of single engine planes, private planes, GPS, satellite imagery, they've become obsolete. And these were recently restored, and their restoration has given hikers something to go for. The view up here is gorgeous, really beautiful. I wish that I knew what landmarks I was looking at. Had I arrived a little bit later and the volunteer was here, they would be able to point them out. Okay. There's an awesome cool breeze up here, and I really worked up a bit of a sweat coming up the mountain, so I'm so happy to be able to cool off. It's great. It's just beautiful. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So this is why you got to get out. You got to get out and see these things. First of all, it's good for you. It's healthy. It's exercise. It's free. It doesn't cost anything other than your gas and your time. And what the payoff, there isn't much else besides perhaps some other very satisfying forms of exercise that you indulge in that can give you what a hike can. Connecting with nature, it's just really great. I love it. Did I have my face in a shadow? Yep. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go down. It's time for some coffee, a Fig Newton, check on my dogs. All right, it's time to give these guys some water. I think they deserve it. So, Charlie, could you make a little room here? Come over here. Oh, all right, there we go. So, let's see what I got here. Always wants to be the star. Carrying my water bowl. All right, listen, you got to come down. Come down. Sit down. Time for my coffee. Here's to you guys. Thanks for coming with me. There's a real value to being alone. I love just getting away, getting out here, getting out to the woods and feeling the solitude, the peacefulness. So let me see, I've got a Fig Newton in here, individually packed, 200 calories. This is basically my breakfast, not bad. I had a banana before coming up. You don't want to leave the house on an empty stomach. It's good to have something in you. It is a bit of an exertion getting up here. It's not a long hike. And what is it, 1.5 miles in, 1.5 miles out? Not bad at all. Elevation change of 803 feet, pretty modest. Maybe more modest for some people than for others, okay? I'll give you that. Not everybody wants to do it. Hey, but I climbed up on that fire tower. I got to get an extra, like, at least 20 feet. Get up, come on. You got the whole world. So long, Red Hill Fire Tower. We're heading out of here. Let's go, guys. So I'm heading back out because I emptied my water bottle, and I'm going to look for that spring, and we're going to go check it out and see what the deal is over there. This is a freshwater spring coming right out of the side of the mountain. When you've been hiking and you run out of water, finding this is a godsend. Yeah! Here you go, Hunter. That water is crystal clear. So one of the nice things on a backpack is having this kind of a bungee strap, because you get something that's soaking wet or you just fill up your pack, you don't have much more room. I just fit this in here. Cinch it down, and it's not getting everything inside all wet. Tell you, when it's hot out and you get to dunk your head in the water, doesn't have to be a fresh spring, could be a lake, could be a stream. Feels good. So going down is a lot faster than going up. and you use different muscles, and it really stresses your joints in different ways. In fact, going up stresses your muscles, your cardiovascular system, and you don't feel it so much in your joints. I mean, maybe if your knees are really bad, it would be about as bad as climbing some steps. But heading down, you got gravity working with you, and basically you got to stop yourself from falling all the time. So sometimes you feel your toes getting pushed into the front of your shoes. And one of the advantages of having a boot that comes up at least to your ankle, if not higher, is it will hold your foot steady in the front to back positioning of your boot. So it's something to consider. Sure, you could probably do this in a pair of sneakers or some hiking shoes that are below the ankle. If you like the idea of heading into the woods and taking your dogs out with you and letting them run around off the leash like I'm doing, you got to make sure you have treats in your pocket. It teaches them to come back. It teaches them to be rewarded. A good idea is to just grab their collar just right before you hand them the treat. That way they associate returning to you, getting the treat, and having the collar grabbed. Now, the collar being grabbed is really great because if you need to leash them up in a hurry, then they're not gonna bolt because you're going for the collar suddenly. So you know when you've really reached the end of the hike. Okay, besides the car, gotta check out. Great hike today, everybody. I'm so glad that you came with me. Yeah, got a little sweaty. You know what? Sometimes that's what happens. When you're doing some kind of exercise, you're exerting yourself, you're gonna sweat. And you know what? If you're sweating, it means you're doing something for your body good. Just make sure you have water, you got a way to cool off, and if it's too hot, get in the shade. The forest is a great place to go. Really enjoyed being there, loved the fire tower. A little disappointing that it wasn't open, but it was still really good. And stay with me next time, and we'll do it again.